St. Lucians have taken to the airwaves with what started off as a suggestion by newly appointed independent Senator Dr. Stephen King for the decriminalization of sex work. Dr. King argues that the law as it stands leads to stigma and discrimination, which drives sex work underground, and so too the HIV/AIDS epidemic. But with St. Lucia being predominantly a Christian society, the religious community have voiced the counter-argument based on their view of morality, decency, and the law of God.
The church appeals to the government and to the conscience of the people of St. Lucia to resist any attempt to legalize prostitution now or in the future.
One does not enforce God's laws through man's laws. These are different, and the argument that decriminalizing of the sale of sex by people is in some way against God's law is not so.
Nobody will come if a tag in front of them saying that's what they do for a living. I don't think so. So it's all left to who want to do it. That's their business.
The Christian community that we are, mainly, they would not accept it because of, it's not right in God's eyes, but with being in government, you would have to, put laws to, govern all your people. You'd have to put, certain laws to balance it out more or less.
When we legalize prostitution, we are sending a very sad message to our young men, even our boys, that women are not worth much, that they are simply commercial products to satisfy the cravings and appetite of men.
But the issue is that you cannot be hypocritical about it. So you cannot pretend that this is not happening and then turn a blind eye and hide behind clause 151 as if the law says this and therefore you are now holier than everybody else and it's okay because the law is there.
I think a very big focus for us as a country has to be how do we empower healthcare providers so that they continue to provide health services without judgment. And in the instances where there are issues of discrimination, that we work with healthcare providers to recognize the important role that they have to play in society in the delivery of such services and deliver these services free of judgment.
Because you find that sex work and buggery is illegal, we may not be able to directly access funds, let's say from government, to directly access those groups. We would have to go under a pseudonym or call persons from those groups men and women at risk or something else. And we also believe that because it is illegal, we are not able to do so. So this is what that's why we are calling for the decriminalization of it.
To legalize prostitution in St. Lucia, it's going to bring up a new scale of sicknesses and diseases, and we have to really be careful of the things that we allow to take place, especially in small islands like St. Lucia.
To be honest, I don't know what the point is. I don't know if it will make things better or if it will just push people away, because people not want people to know they're into prostitution anyways.
The Bible is saying when a woman is given into prostitution, it will cause wickedness to increase and prostitution to expand. And that's exactly what's happening around the world.
Legal recognition and social acceptance of prostitution does not make right what is intrinsically and morally wrong.
What you need is a program. You need to have intervention. The Christians and the state and the other non-state actors, panels or players need to get out there and work with people to actually cause women to elevate from sex work.
As much as it's not legalized, I think a lot of people is doing it. So maybe if it's legalized, you can have control. There you can put control, because people might come out of the closet and say, okay, I am a prostitute, I'm not a prostitute. So you can say, okay, we have 10 registered prostitutes, you understand? So you can have full control. But sometimes at night, when the sun goes down, the crabs will come out.
If you stigmatize and discriminate and also further endorse that stigmatizing and discrimination by having a clause which then makes them criminals, you're sending a very clear message to people that are involved in sex work that they should hide. It's a very clear message. Don't declare yourself, hide.
In a society cultured in the belief of the fear of God and that the human body is the temple of God, the notion of decriminalizing sex work goes against all Christian teachings. But the pundits for decriminalization want the debates to continue, all the way to government's legislative agenda. The government of St. Lucia, however, has not officially weighed in, but has been monitoring closely this most interesting and heated debate. From the Government Information Service, Glenn Simon reporting.